Hello Internet, I'm TychoCelchuuu. This is another Men of War Assault Squad video. Some quick stuff before we begin. You should probably watch the last video I made before you watch this one. It's not necessary, but I will be referring to it a bit, and I'll probably spoil the ending at some point, so not a bad idea to watch it. I passed 1,000 subscribers a while ago. I forgot to mention that, but that's pretty cool. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, and also huge thanks to God, who did everything. What else is there? Oh, and I still have that Steam community group for if you want to join, like for fans of me, so that you can talk to each other and talk to me and people. There's actually 45 people in there right now, which is quite big, I think, for a Steam community group devoted entirely to my ego. This is me and lollybo again, playing as the Germans against two people playing as the UK. One of the reasons I said watch that previous video I made is because this is a rematch against them. It's the same teams, the same people, but we are on the other side of the map. We just swapped sides, so you're seeing everything from the opposite perspective. Again, fairly quickly, me rushing to the left, and actually me rushing to the right also. lollybo is just focusing entirely on the middle, and in fact I'm also focusing on the middle. I'm setting up some sandbags while lollybo fights, and once those are set up I'll be able to give him some fire support, is the idea. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Fairly even, it looks like, in the middle. They were trying to take the point, but we fought them off because them being so aggressive like that leads to them getting killed. So I also have a pretty good hold on the left and the right, although unfortunately since they sent more people to cap the point, they captured their point a little before we captured our point. Or not because they sent more people. I don't think it matters how many people you have in the point. I think as long as you have one person in the point and your opponent doesn't have anybody, it goes up about as fast. Or just as fast. I'm not sure. In any case, I captured the point on the right before I captured the point on the left, even though there's only one dude there, just because he got there first. I think different types of infantry do capture points faster, or at least in Men of War, the original, the paratroopers, I think, or maybe the assault infantry captured points faster. I'm not really sure. It's tough to know. I'm repositioning a lot of people away from this left point, because I'm not expecting a lot of attacks on that thing, and even if there are a lot of attacks, I feel like I'll probably be able to hold them off for a while, unless there is a vehicle or something. But these sandbags should give me pretty good cover, and they don't have a lot of cover approaching that point, which you saw in the last game when I was attacking that point. It was kind of difficult. One of the big things I did was I repositioned my machine gun man over to the right so that he will be able to fire into the middle and hopefully do some damage. But unfortunately, they have set up sandbags too, so this is a really not going anywhere. This is a World War I sort of fight, and I see that it's not going anywhere. I'm tired of wasting ammo, and moreover, they have a heavy machine gun set up over there, so I'm just going prone behind these sandbags. I'm going to wait it out until we have something heavier to duke it out. And once again, we have this sort of stalemate over the middle, which you saw in the last game. And look, it's a 20mm Oerlikon anti-aircraft gun, so that's going to punch through quite a bit of stuff. In fact, you see it sort of demolishing that house right now, so we're going to have to do something about these two setup guns, because hitting them with infantry is really not going to happen at this point. So lollybo purchases a mortar is a pretty good idea. He'll be able to get some indirect fire on these guys and just hit them from far off and not get hurt. Although you got to be careful, because if you get close enough with a mortar, the Oerlikon can just sort of punch through all that cover and just demolish stuff in the way. And they are capping the middle, by the way, so we are still under a bit of time pressure, although we did manage to get 2 points somehow. I think we capped both our back points, and they only had capped one for a moment or two. So I'm trying to buy a Pack 40 at this point. I'm sort of holding out for a Pack 40. I want to get some anti-vehicle stuff in case they decide to bum rush lollybo's mortar, and I also want just a field gun to maybe shell those positions over there. But the Pack 40 is a long way away. I don't have enough points for that, so I just buy a Pack 38. And so there you go. And look, these houses are crumbling, so you really gotta be careful. And they're moving forward with their infantry, so I figure, yeah, now's the time to stand up, get up, stand up, fight for your rights or whatever. And that didn't really work. I just get owned by the 20mm AA gun. So that's unfortunate. I tell the remaining two people to get back down behind the sandbags. Maybe not gonna hop up for a while, and I'm just gonna let them assault us, is really how it looks like it's going. And lollybo's mortar is firing, and I'm getting my Pack 38 set up pretty soon. Look at those funny looking shells. Those look hilarious. And I'm trying to grab the MG42, but unfortunately it's on the other side of the sandbags, so that's not really helpful. These people also are wearing hats. That's really not helpful. I can't imagine a hat's giving you a lot of protection against something. lollybo sent some Volkssturm, the cheap infantry, over to the right. And oh no, his mortar is getting rushed by infantry, so I'm telling my AT gun, go, fire over there, save the mortar, save the mortar. In Men of War, mortars getting rushed by infantry could really do this sort of funny thing. They would just fire shells at the infantry. And look, as this guy talking to me. They would just fire shells at the infantry, be extremely accurate, fire extremely rapidly, and attacking a mortar actually got kind of dangerous if the mortar saw you coming, because they could just pinpoint, drop shells on you as you came up at them. But you can't do that in Assault Squad. I'm so glad they fixed it. Now when you bum rush a mortar, they'll get a volley off, and then you can just dodge the volley and bum rush the mortar. So lollybo, of course, did the smart thing, packed up, ran away, and I was able to save him by a combination of my Pack 38 firing and this infantry squad I sent over. So very close. Almost lost that mortar, but lollybo managed to save it with my help. And all of lollybo's Volkssturm, the really cheap infantry on the right, are all dead. And look, it's a Matilda, so very quickly trying to get my Pack 38 to armor pierce the heck out of it, but my Pack 38 has spent most of its time running around and not too much time firing, but now I'm finally getting set up. I'm just really worried that it's going to kill my Pack 38, and then we're going to be owned. Orlican machine gun picking off one of my machine gunners, which is unfortunate. I don't want lollybo's mortar to die, but in any case, I guess he sees Pack 38 and he backs off, which I don't know, best thing for both of us maybe. My Pack 38 contends with itself with shelling something, so they're up to 10 points already, 10 out of 100. This is looking pretty bad, and yeah, not so fantastic. And that's like second or third shell off that Matilda, whatever. Fourth shell, yeah, it's not looking so good, and boom, there's the end of my Pack 38. That's kind of why I wanted to buy a Pack 40 back then, because British tanks, not too shabby on the armor, and it looks like the 20mm hitting the mortar, and the tank's hitting the mortar, and that's the end of the mortar, so that's not good. Things are looking really bad. Really bad, but we still have time to come back. We have 83 minutes to come back, and they only have 13 points to our 2, so I guess once it's over 100, it's only out of 100. So, and it looks like the mortar's not completely dead. lollybo set up some sandbags around it, so I guess one guy carrying it actually was alive. That's bizarre. But yeah, these people are not like doing anything. They've been stuck in those bushes for 20 minutes like that. Oh, there's the end of the mortar. Like nothing is happening in the middle. Okay, like we are not getting through in the middle. So I'm like, I'll head off to the right, see what's going up over there, find out. Because yeah, there's no point in just letting my people get mowed down in the middle, and they're just scrunching along on their tummies through that field of probably grapes or something. I imagine they probably picked some grapes as they were walking by, and now they're going to be drunk when they get there. I guess you can't really get drunk off grapes, you gotta get drunk off wine. Can you ferment just grapes like on the vine? I think probably as they go in like rotten, sort of, they get too ripe. They're sort of, I don't know, alcohol. Huh. Speaking of fruit ripening, I was talking to, I guess it was lollybo the other day about fruit ripening. He was like, would fruit ripen in like a vacuum or something or in a bag? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, but isn't it microbes doing all the ripening? And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, well, what's ripening it if it's not like little tiny creatures? And I'm like, I don't know, look it up, because he has an iPhone, so he can get on the internet wherever or whatever, like 99% of the population. And so I'm like, look it up. And so he looks it up, and it's like enzymes or something in the apple that ripens the fruit. I don't know. It was. I have to read about that on Wikipedia at some point. I keep meaning to look that up. How does fruit ripen? But I don't know. It's gas or something. Okay, so lollybo's sending over a Panzer IV to the right to accompany my infantry assault, because, like I said, nothing's happening in the middle. So we don't even know what kind of defenses they have over here. lollybo sent some Volkssturm a while ago. They all died, but they're Volkssturm, so they all die no matter what you do. And oh no, it's an assault on the left, including a half-track, so that's really not good. I tell everybody to get down, everybody get down tonight. And, you know, I pretty much have to buy a tank, because luckily he doesn't really have any anti-tank, and also luckily I've managed to advance over to the point, just a couple people behind that wall, so it's time for grenades. And yeah, that was a little overkill, but he's dead, so 2 grenades, 1 man, 2 girls, 1 cup sort of stuff. That wasn't too awful. And lollybo's Panzer IV just knocked down Matilda, so that's fantastic. Things are looking not too bad now. I mean, certainly they've got the middle locked down, but it looks like my tank's going to get here in time to save the left, and we're taking the right. So I don't know what lollybo's pointing out, but he's scared of something. That's great. Vickers just killed my squad leader. Fantastic. Oh, probably the Vickers on that half-track. So it looks like they are moving in on this point. It's getting pretty dire, but just in time, Mr. Panzer IV shows up, mows some people down. They're actually capping the point. They must have a lot of people. But bad news, bad news. Do not charge a Panzer IV straight in the face. That thing has like 3 machine guns if you count